People working in hundreds of industries make the Inland Northwest strong and vibrant. How can you learn about the careers that promise a bright future? Career Explorer Northwest website to help you plot your career path. Inside information about in-demand jobs right here at home. Video profiles of people like you in a wide variety of workplaces, salary ranges, and much more. Explore careers and find a fit for you at careerexplorernw.org.
Next time on Father Brown, Glenn Bowe wants Father Brown's help to stop his daughter.
Marianne Delacroix, she's still with some very dangerous people.
And when she turns up, she has a proposal.
A contest to discover who is the better thief.
Father Brown.
Thursday night at 8 on KSPS. Celebrate the immigrant experience in a moving concert about real people who landed at Ellis Island. Factual music. Created by Peter Boyer, look for Ellis Island, the dream of America with Pacific Symphony on great performances.
See you Friday night at 9 on KSPS.
Create, you can go online to shopcreate.com and buy books, DVDs, and more from your favorite Create hosts and programs. From home improvement, travel, cooking, and gardening, it's in the bag at shopcreate.com.
You can do it yourself at create.com. Your favorite shows. Or do some shopping. Inspiration is just a click away online at createtv.com.
Funding for Lucky Chow has been provided by
For me, food is all about growing it, cooking it, or eating it. But in this episode, I'm looking at food in a different, more practical, and more traditionally Asian way. How it affects wellness and abundance. Radish,
I just seen if you're paying attention.
I wasn't really. I captured it. Okay, so I'm just testing this. Oh, we've got somebody. No, it's just the two of us. Oh, fun. Okay, so it didn't make me go into the waiting room. Okay. I just wanted to see what it looked like on my phone. That's just my phone. So it's not getting an echo. I must not, oh, I don't have the, I'm muted, that's why.
I'm thinking we can use our phone and use our data when we're in Washington. I mean, when we're in Idaho.
Idaho. Well, unless
You're
we're,
in St.
if we're connected to Debbie's Wi-Fi, I'm sure she has Wi-Fi. We'll just play it by ear. But that's why I wanted to check it out on my phone to see what I've not looked at the app from the host standpoint with, I think we'd have feedback if I unmuted myself,
Yeah, we would.
but I don't have the video on. Just a second. That's it. Okay.
Are you gonna let me in on the phone?
Oh, just a second. So I'm not sure how to get my, what's that? Oh, no. Okay.
There,
like-
see, I'm right.
Yeah. Well, and so am, oh, just a minute. There we go. That's how I do it.
Yep.
Okay. See, I've not done it enough on my phone to know how to, where all the, I thought I better test it out so that I'm not looking like a total dunce next week.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave on the phone. I'm gonna leave the phone.
Yeah, so am I, so that we don't confuse people when they start coming.
But yeah, I need to put the, you need to make sure that you put it out, you know, put the link next week. So when we get on our phone, we can just click in on our phone.
Right,
Yeah.
that's how I clicked in on my phone. That's how
But you're still on your phone. You're still on two of them right now.
I know I haven't totally left yet. It just shows me as a, I think what I need to do next week. Okay. It just showed me as a participant, not as the host. I think I can only be the host on one device. So
Yep. Yeah.
I think next week, if I'm just on my phone, it'll show me as a host.
Yeah.
Because it showed me logged in. Okay. Because I had to look this morning and see what my password was in order to log into Zoom on my phone, because I had remembered it, but I didn't remember if I remembered it. You just turned your video off?
Yeah. I was gonna sleep.
No, no sleeping allowed. LaVon's not going to be on this morning, just to let you know. I don't think I had her signed up for anything. No, I don't think she was signed up for anything today. She must have gone, I'm guessing she went to visit her kids, because she said that she was going to be out of self-service. You got yourself muted. I can't tell what you said.
Who's Carolyn Thompson?
I have
She
no
lives in
idea.
Oregon.
I don't know. Oh, I know who Carolyn Thompson is. Carolyn Thompson is Carolyn Ginther. Why?
Oh, okay.
She just got married.
Okay.
She's the gal that I taught with. She was one of our aides. It's her daughter, her oldest daughter, and she just got married. So I didn't recognize the last name right at first, but it's Ginther. I mean, she just turned to Thompson. Why, is it her birthday or something?
No.
Did she
Your new
mess?
Facebook.
Oh,
Can you tell I'm asleep?
no, you were talking.
Oh, here comes someone. Good morning, Greg.
Hey, good morning, Jim and Darlene. Nice to see you.
Good morning. So what'd you think of Saturday?
It was all right. There were some good points. I took some notes. That's probably the best thing for me to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was your first time to attend something like that, probably.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I've been the sergeant of arms for other organizations, and I never knew what they did. So that was helpful.
Well, you usually kick people out of meetings. That's what the sergeant of arms does.
No, yes. Well, now I welcome them.
Yes.
I liked the pound my why thing. I had to think about that. I really did. I don't know if you guys have done that already or not, but
Yeah, I don't remember if I think I might have. They've had that around for about a little over a year. So that's when it first came out. Not everybody, but a lot of people were doing it.
yeah.
They're doing what?
The My Why.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hashtag my why.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Sorry, I call it a pound symbol. I need to not do that.
Well, okay, I could approach it from a different angle. I could say sharp, my why.
Sure.
Yes,
I've never heard that.
because the pound signal, pound sign and the hashtag and the sharp sign in music are all the same.
Oh, I got you. Oh. Yeah, all right.
Better a sharp one than a flat one.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, what else did I get out of the day?
Well, you saw some faces of people that you hadn't met before.
Yeah, but the online thing doesn't work for me. They're just voices.
Yeah.
Not as much fun.
Well,
Works for
No,
when we get to having actual in-person conferences and stuff, and you go and meet people, you'll find that you making friends that you have forever, just really, really good, solid people.
excellent.
yeah, the in-person thing is, I think you get to know people better. I mean, you're right. They're just faces on Zoom.
Well, one thing about Zoom, you do get to see, the inside of someone's room sometimes.
Well, this is my wonderful garage that I'm remodeling.
You can tell that
You're
Jim,
making it into a man cave?
So we have an 1,100 square foot 2-story house. So there's 1,100 square feet upstairs, and the downstairs isn't finished at all. So now there's me, my wife, 2 kids, and a baby crammed into this 2-bedroom space upstairs. So I put a big window in the garage door, and I can show it to you. Here you go. I'll give you a small tour. So that window is going to come out. I've already got a new one ordered there. And then this will be a big living area is what it'll be. And that was my wife's baby present there. That's a infrared sauna. Because apparently everybody needs one of those when they remodel their house.
I think I'd rather have a hot tub than a sauna. The saunas are nice though.
It's less maintenance, and I think we will use this more once I actually. So on the other side of that wall is actually a bathroom that's already plumbed in but not finished, and so that's the next project once I get this area heated. We don't have any storage space, so everything's just in the other side of the room there.
Oh, here comes someone else.
It seemed a little different to log in today. It diverted me to something, the homepage, before it let me in.
Huh.
It does, yeah. Huh. I know they're making some updates to some of their security stuff again.
Oh,
I don't know.
Hi,
if that-
Karen.
Morning. Morning, Greg.
good morning, good morning.
Morning, Lee.
Good morning, Lee.
Morning.
Good
Like
morning, Lee.
balloon.
Good morning.
Morning, everyone.
I like the balloons in the background. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one yet.
I try to go with a theme.
All right.
Party.
Oh, that's next, I thought that was next week.
Is it next
Yeah,
week?
that is.
Uh-oh. Thought I saw it for today.
Morning.
That's all right.
I don't know.
Anyway, good morning, Beth.
I don't know. What
Hi, I
the
like
thing
your
is.
balloons, Lee.
Thank you.
Every day's a party with Lee.
Oh, there's Beth. Good morning, Beth.
And did you get my email, Lee?
Yes. Yes,
Thank
I did.
you. And Greg, thank you for the nice message as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, I guess it's time to start. I wasn't very early, was I? Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Long night. Okay. Trying to get everything moved out of the lab and long night. So I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. So, Jim, would you like to read our club mission?
Yes, I would. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and personal growth.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. So, any guests today? I don't see Florence. I don't see Chris. Few people missing. So I will bring on the Toastmaster. That's me. So, let's see. The general evaluator today is Darlene. Would you like to introduce your team?
Yes, I would like to introduce my team. Hold on, I gotta look and see who they are. You know, just because I type this thing up doesn't mean I know what it says. Okay. My team today, grammarian, looks like it's Lee. Lee, can you tell us what the grammarian does?
I will watch for the word of the day and any other ahs or ums. And that's all I can think of right now. Thank you.
Okay. And my other team member is Jim, being the timer. Jim, can you tell us, without expecting any money, what the timer does?
The timer times all speeches, all evaluations, all table topics, which we won't have any table topics today. And then I will be also the vote counter. When you've met the minimum time, you will see the green card. Maybe it'll be in my face or block my face. When you're halfway between minimum time and overtime, you'll see the yellow card. There, all yellow card. And when you reach the maximum time, you'll see the red card. And then you have 30 seconds to wrap it up. That is my job as a timer. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Welcome. The general evaluator also kind of evaluates the whole process of the meeting and gives a report toward the end of the meeting. Back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you. Today we had Chris being our joke and quote of the day. I do not see him here. I am prepared to cover that if anyone else isn't.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay, I have two jokes going out with a bang here. So When does a dad joke become a dad joke?
I haven't got a clue.
When it becomes apparent. And the second joke, it was taught to me about ODOT workers, but it can be changed. So 2 ODOT workers are out working. All of a sudden, one of the guys turns around and he stomps on and kills 2 snails. The other guy's in shock. Wasn't that a bit harsh? First guy says, yeah, but I was just tired of them following us around all day. Kind of like that one too. So for a quote of the day, I just ran across it when I was cleaning out my desk yesterday, and it said, enjoy the afternoon. You can't take it with you. So with that, I guess I get to introduce the speaker. Just kind of doing all kinds of things. The speaker is also, what did I miss? Oh, word of the day, Greg.
Awesome. All right. Today's word of the day is rookery.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna hold that up there. That's what it looks like. And it is a colony of breeding animals, typically seen as a collection of nests, or it can be a dense collection of housing.
Oh.
And so we have several rookeries around Pendleton in the form of blue heron colonies. So there's one at the upper end of Pendleton above the baseball park where there's about 20 blue heron nests. There's one by Mackay Creek in the Umatilla. I was telling somebody about those the other day and they said, what an interesting word. So I wanted to share it with you guys. There you go.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And as I was trying to mute out the helicopter that flies over the house, I missed where that first one was. The first rookery.
There is one. It's there's a baseball park at the upper end on the it'd be the east side of Pendleton. Do you know where the Little League Park is out there?
Yes.
I believe it's across the river there. It's along the river. Yes.
Nice. Thank you very much. Now I will go ahead and introduce the speaker. And that is me, Beth. And I am in Dynamic Leadership, Level 4. And this part of the research is all about preparing for change. So the title of my speech is just Musings on Change. Fellow Toastmasters, my speech might be a little different today. It's just going to be musings. I have many changes going on in my life. Life is about change, particularly in mine right now, but also in yours. That's what life is, and that is just what we know it as and have come to expect. Today is especially apt as I am transitioning. I won't say retiring, but transitioning to a new phase. It is literally the last day at work, where I have been for 11 years. And we came to Pendleton because our daughter died, as you know. So that was because we needed a change. We forced a change. And then with Bill dying while I was here, my husband, that spurred my thinking about selling. That was also, it wasn't a needed or wanted change, but it was a change in my life. And then when my son had a daughter, that is what really spurred me to go through this latest change, which has finally or is finally coming to pass today, I think. We shall see by the end of the day. So Pendleton for me has seen many changes, not just personally, but also professionally. Personally, I've opened up. Since Bill's passed, I've become very different. I have women friends. I have lots of friends. I get involved in things. And it has been very good for me. Change can be good and change can be bad. So we prepare for change, which is what this lesson is about. That change can be known, but also unknown. You don't know that it's coming. So I actually, in all honesty, I thought, I want to skip this. There are a few of these things that are kind of hard when you actually analyze them. I thought, nope, I'll just move to an elective. I'll do this level 4-1 another time. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, no, this is good for me. It is good to actually look at and think and analyze the changes in your life, something that we should all do, especially when they're ones that you have control over, that are known to be coming. So I thought about two different things. For one, in current events, COVID right now, we're all going through changes, lots of changes. We go forward, we go back. I read just yesterday that all the different markers that they have, the different benchmarks that we're supposed to have for COVID, that we have only this many cases or whatever they are, we're failing them all. So they are constantly analyzing those changes on a probably hour-to-hour basis. So that's a current event that came up in my mind. But in reality, preparing for change, I analyzed the sale of my lab through today, sort of retirement or transitioning. So it says that you are to analyze your current circumstances, know your objectives, collect and analyze data, and then make communication part of your plan throughout all of this. And it gives a wonderful worksheet that helps you to do that. So Toastmasters is great about those kind of things, helping you to think and prepare. So it also talks about preparing for things like resistance and how you can work with people that, how you can help to work around that, maybe foreseeing it and trying to analyze it, and ways that you can personally talk with people, which may even change your approach a little bit. So that was what this lesson was about. So analyzing current circumstances. Why are changes needed? Well, it's getting time for me to retire. As you know, I had a hard health year, or to transition, I have the wrong word again. But was a change actually needed? No, and yes. Okay, depends on the day, on the moment. Then the new company, when I sold, boy, they required change. So analyzing circumstances for change, boy, they didn't fuss around. They shoved it down my throat. They're a big company. This is what you will do. It is not bring together. It is, boom, you will do it our way. So knowing your objectives, well, okay, retirement or transitioning, actually just being at home and being able to work part-time and do things on my own schedule that I enjoy. Getting away from lab work, oh yeah, that's a good one. So I want my business to be successful and to carry on the relationships that it has, not just with customers, but especially with customers, but also with regulatory agencies. So I want them to carry on my good name, my reputation, everything that was good and that I worked for, because that business became my baby after 10 years. So those are my objectives. Collect and analyze data. Well, with the new company, I have analyzed error rates, meaning things like misspellings, legibility of writing. That can be, luckily everything they put out is typed. So just a warning, sometimes with businesses, guys, please make things legible and don't hire 3 people that can't write legibly. When you can't tell the difference between the 3 signatures, you know you're kind of in trouble. So that's one thing I will admit it, harp on with these guys. So I am a scientist. I did studies on, okay, here's your errors, what ones are consistent, and let's get that better. Customer feedback and satisfaction. Were they able to complete all the needed tasks daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly? And then we have things that we call PTs, proficiency tests, and documentations of certifications that are actual tests that have to be passed. So that was how I analyzed my data. Those were my benchmarks. Seems like I missed a phase. Hold on one second here. Nope, 1, 2, 3. So then communication, part of the plan. With me preparing, knowing that I have a limited time, that really helps. Communication has been daily, ongoing, constant. It has been constant. It is, I am analyzing your work. Here's what you need to improve on. Weekly things, I am constantly available. Prepare for resistance. Oh yeah, there was resistance and there still is. That resistance can be known or unknown and can surprise you at the times you don't realize. So take time to try and alleviate and blend together with those that are resistant. So musings on change. We all have it, part of life. Today's a big one. I guess we'll see how it goes. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Okay, next will be, we are skipping table topics today due to the officer installation. I guess we go down to the general evaluator again. Darlene. Kind of short.
I know. It feels different when we don't have table topics. So my job as evaluator, the first part is that I'm going to introduce our evaluator for Beth's speech, and that is Karen. Karen is going to evaluate Beth's speech. Your turn, Karen.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Guests that are not here, but we knew they'd sign on eventually, and especially to Beth. This is going to be a bit of a challenge for me. This is Beth's final and last spin as the president, but not only that, she at one time was my boss, and I really enjoyed that part, even though sometimes in that little lab could seem like it's a big rookery for everybody. You know, we cross paths, bump into each other, or wiping tape challenge, how to get out of it in a good time. I learned a lot from you, and I appreciate that. Your kindness is going to be missed, at least in person part of that. I like your speech today. We talked about it a little bit over the weekend. I'm glad that you decided to go forward with it, even with the rookery and chaos of your home right now. Your speech was great on change. I like how your introduction brought in what brought you to Pendleton. And those circumstances certainly weren't the best, and my best thoughts are always going to be with you on that. However, you still came, and you came with a good amount of expertise and knowledge when you came into the lab and transformed it into what it is, well, what it was a while back. So I wish you the best of luck. Your words were good. You had some good gestures, your hands, you're waving, you're acknowledging everything. And if change were word of the day, you would have it. You would have nailed it, and Jim would be so buying you donuts for being first place. I like that. I really do. It's a good use. You're there from going into the lab, that transformation to where you are now, what's bringing that need, your desire to transition from being very busy to getting used to not being very busy is pretty evident in your speech. One I would suggest as we got into the lab portion of it is getting into the job description, what may have been included in the first part of it, saying this is what it was when I first came. These are the employees who could write legibly, and these are the ones that could, that would be the only suggestion that I would make. Other than that, Beth, I'm glad you shared that with us. Your last day is El Presidente, El Jefe, all those other big words. And we'll look forward to seeing you on Zoom when that transition day comes, which I hope, maybe, Jason will get a flat tire or something on the way over and he can't quite take you away from us. So good luck. And thank you, Beth, for sharing that your last speech as president. Thank you. Back to Darlene.
Yes, thank you very much. Should I go ahead and do I think it's a little early for the reports. So should we go ahead and do the officer installation at this point?
That sounds fine.
Yeah,
And
so
obviously, I was very focused on those transitions. There's also another transition happening today, the officer installations.
yes.
So that should rightly have been in my speech. What a big day for transitions. I hope it's not
Yes.
quite as big a day for transitions and changes for you guys as it is for me, because it can be overwhelming. So this will be an interesting installation in that I can't pass a gavel. I should maybe pass a coffee cup or something, but I cannot do that part. So I heard what everyone was at the officer training. Heard that from Karen, so congratulations. And do we have,
Levon is missing.
yeah, and she is going to be treasurer, right?
Secretary.
Secretary.
Secretary treasurer.
Okay, so this is, I do not actually have it all written down as to who is what. So this is Karen. This is Levon. And public relations,
Jim,
okay. Membership,
Lee,
education,
me, and Sergeant at Arms is Greg.
first page. Okay. So normally, I guess all of us are usually familiar with this with the exception of Greg. So normally at this point, and I have only been through it once, but we have everyone come up front. Actually, we dismiss the old officers, the old younger officers. How do I say that? The current officers there. So we dismiss the current officers, relieve us of our duties, and then we bring people up front. We pass a gavel. We have pins that we give each other. So that is how that normally occurs. And that is, I don't know if we will see that at some other point. Probably not, correct, Darlene? We won't be seeing that, but you're familiar with our gavel and sort of how we do things. So I will go ahead and dismiss the current officers. I want to say thank you for all that we've done. I know it's been an interesting year, one of many changes. And I think we've done well with what we've been given and how we've dealt with it. So I want to thank you very much for that. And then I will say that we are discharged from all further duties and responsibilities as officers of Pendleton Club number 154. So now at this point, come over to my house and we'll take care of this. Might not quite work. So I would like to install the officers of Pendleton Club 154 to prepare them for the challenges that lie ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club strong, dedicated to helping people from all walks of life, and to speak in an effective manner, listen with sensitivity, and think creatively. I will ask each officer to hold normally the gavel. At this point, I will not. As a symbol of leadership, to briefly describe the challenges that he or she must meet and the responsibilities that they must fulfill. So at this point, I wonder if Darlene's running to get the gavel. That'd be kind of cool. Our first officer will be Greg as Sergeant of Arms. I'm going to give a very brief description of what your duties will be. Yes, there is our gavel. Greg, virtual. So you watch over our club property, you manage it, you do meeting room preparation, and you're in charge of hospitality. It just means greeting guests, things like that. But in reality, we all are together with you on that. So, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I
And
will.
thank you. That will be the answer for all of us. And at this point, we will then move on. Well, we would normally move on to the Treasurer Secretary, Levon. And just to recap, her duties as treasurer are to watch the club financial policies, procedures, and controls, receive and disperse funds, keep an accurate account of transactions, and make financial reports when requested. As secretary, Levon is responsible for club records and correspondence, custody of those club records, keep accurate minutes of meetings, maintain a roster of membership, and put out any meeting notices that need to occur. So at this point, you will have to install her in the future, I assume. Is that correct? Or will this count? Okay. Next will be our Vice President of Public Relations, Jim. Your job as Vice President of Public Relations will be to develop and direct publicity programs that inform members and the public about Toastmasters. Will you accept this duty?
I will.
Thank you, Jim. Our Vice President of Membership, Lee. Lee, as Vice President of Membership, you are responsible for membership retention and growth, which of course, again, we are all a part of. Will you accept this responsibility?
I will.
Thank you, Lee. And our Vice President of Education. Darlene, as Vice President of Education, you are responsible for planning, organizing, and directing a program that meets the educational needs of the members. Will you accept this responsibility?
I will.
Thank you. So Karen, Toastmaster Karen, as we actually follow the script, having been elected as president of Pendleton Club 154, you are its chief executive officer and are expected to preside at all club meetings and at all regular and special meetings of the executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It is also your challenge to see that the club helps the area division, district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. Please virtually accept this gavel as a symbol of your leadership and your dedication to the office of President of Pendleton 154. The gavel is a symbol of the power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and with restraint. You are a member of this team as well as its leader. A team is more than a collection of people. It is an emotional force rooted in the feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone is proud. Will you, as president, accept the challenge and perform your duties to the best of your abilities?
I will. And so does my chorus behind me.
You have a rookery.
I do. I have a rookery.
Thank you, Karen. So it is now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed into the offices into which they have been elected. So, addressing the club, all of us. Will everyone help with the growth and development of the Toastmasters program here at Pendleton 154? It depends largely upon the actions of our group. On your honor as members of Toastmasters, do you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year? We will.
I do.
I will.
We
Thank
will.
you.
I do.
So at this point, I would normally ask the new members to come up front. We have pins that we give out. There's a past president, there's a new president. We transfer the gavel, of course, we had just done that. We will not do that today. But at this point then, I would like to turn this meeting over to our new president, Karen Malcolm.
Oh. Make sure I'm unmuted. There we go. Whoops. Wrong button. And my rookery are awake. Hope they don't. Oh, there they are. Don't interfere too much. Thank you, everyone. And once again, thank you, Beth, so much for all that you've done for the Toastmaster Pendleton Club 154. It is 7:13.
We still need to do Mary, the we still need the general evaluators.
Well, no, I was just wondering, it's 7:13. Might we have time for one or two table topics to help our meeting go along a little bit? Was that something everyone might want to do just for fun?
Yes, I say,
And that, and it'll give Jim a little bit more time to get that rookery out there, because he
Yes,
hasn't had that much of an opportunity.
I vote yes.
Everyone? Well, since that was my idea, I will do the table topics. And first, I would like to ask Greg, your first 30 minutes to a minute of being our Sergeant at Arms. How do you feel about that? Greg.
Well, Beth did a wonderful job of introducing and bringing everybody onto the team, and I felt very special. It was neat to say, Greg, you're our Sergeant at Arms. And it was interesting. I was telling everyone before, or Jim and Darlene before everyone logged on, how I'd been the Sergeant at Arms for the Knights of Columbus, which I'm part of, and never really knew what the Sergeant of Arms role was, other than to shut the door at the beginning of the meeting. So it was fascinating to participate in Saturday's introduction, but it was also nice to have Beth reaffirm those roles. So, looking forward to an eventful year. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. My birds also liked what you had to say. Apparently, they're just so happy. They're in love with any foreign voices they hear. There they go. Appreciate that. You're going to be just fine as our Sergeant at Arms, and I'm really proud that you made that step to accept the nomination. So, moving on, I'm going to give Jim a chance to share something. Your past year as the Vice President of Public Relations, what was one of your highlights? Jim.
Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and invisible guests. The past year has seemed to have gone by really fast. We've seen some new people come in and some old people go out. I shouldn't say old people. We've seen people go out. Well, I'll be politically correct today, which doesn't happen very often. The past year, the highlight, I think, is always the breakfast time, because it really gives us a chance to eat, meet, and greet. And that's something that I would like to see more of as far as getting more people during breakfast time. Also, I think what is really important, something that we've incorporated in our meetings, is birthdays. I love to celebrate birthdays as long as there's presents there. And my thought is, when everybody gets back together, that's something that we'll be sure and bring the birthday cake along so we have something to eat. It's been a good past year. I look forward to the new year, and I look forward to eating more. Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Jim. I didn't get to see that word in there, and I gave you an opportunity. That's okay. Thank you for being our Vice President of Public Relations for 2019 and 20, and welcome aboard to this year. Glad to see that. And we have time for just one more before we turn it over to our general evaluators. So, Lee, I love your pictures of Rocky. Who's that little gal that's been running around with you, that little black and white one? Could you share a little bit about her? Lee.
Good morning, Table Topics Master Karen and the rest of the group, Toastmasters. I have been on a streak. Streaking with the cool kids is what it's called. So all of June, I've been walking a minimum of 1 mile. I have one more day to walk that 1 mile. So to walk my 1 mile, I start at my house and walk down the road. And then about the road, Motanic and Weedy Lane, there's a house with this little white dog with some brown patches on her, and she's been walking with me. First day, the first time she walked with me, she scared me because I felt something at the back of my leg, nip at the back of my leg or touch my back of my leg. And I was like, ew, what was that? Because I'm walking by myself, so I wasn't used to having anything or something touch me there at the back of my leg. And then every once in a while, she'll come and walk with me. But one day I caught her, I videotaped her running around the side of a little hill there, and she was just zipping back and forth. It was crazy to see her just zip, 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 zip. I'd record it and post it because it just amazed me how much energy this little puppy had. And I gave her the name of Spaz. I didn't know what else to name her other than she was just a spaz that day that she was zipping around on that side hill. I think she was enjoying watching the dirt all over the place, going all over the place. And if there's a leaf to chase, she chases that leaf. If there's anything that's, the wind kind of goes through there a lot too. If there's anything that's chaseable and moves, she chases it. So Spaz is my friend that walks with me, and I really enjoy her because she's kind of a goofy dog. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Challenges with the tablet, the unmute, mute doesn't want to cooperate very well. So I'll turn this over back to Darlene so she can finish our portion of this meeting. Darlene.
Yes. Let's have the grammarians report.
Good morning, everyone, again. Beth said the word of the day once, and Karen won for word of the day with saying rookery 4 times. And let's go with Darlene for the Wizard of Oz. There's just a few Oz and M's in there, but we did pretty good today. I like Jim's comment about eat, meet, and greet when we get to finally meet with each other again. General Evaluator, thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Jim, can you give us all the times?
Yes, we did really well today. Beth's speech was supposed to be 5 to 7 minutes. Her speech was 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Table topics. Greg was 51 seconds. Jim was 1 minute and 13 seconds. Lee was 1 minute and 34 seconds. And Karen's evaluation was 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So everybody qualified. You need to send me a text message, 541-969, on who had the best table topics. Again, 541-969-4845. You'll just send me a text message. I'll get those counted up, and I can count them up on both my hands. That is a timer's report, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. I don't know what I was waiting for there. For everyone to vote, I guess. Have you been getting the votes, Jim? Okay. All right, our meeting started on time, and it looks like we will end maybe even early, that means that we zipped right along. I think having our Zoom so that we don't have to log out and log back in has really helped our meeting be a little more concise. Is that the right word? Without having, because that took a lot of extra time. There were a few times when we went a little overtime when we were doing it that way. Word of the day, I wanted to make one comment. This doesn't consist of a rookery, but it reminded me of it. I was watching a video where this gal raises tomatoes, And she was going along and found a bird nest in one of her tomato plants. I thought that was funny. Oh, Madam Toastmaster, back to you. That would be Beth. Okay, you're muted. Yeah. You still are muted. It went unmute for a half a second and then went back to mute.
Unmute.
There you go.
Okay. I was trying to vote. Sorry about that, but I did get it done. Took a bit. So today, 4 awards. I know the ones that we do have. Karen, of course, for Word of the Day. Darlene for Wizard of Oz. Jim, would you fill us in?
Yes, Madam Toastmaster. Lee won the table topic, and most improved was Greg. And of course, Beth won this best speaker, and Karen was the best evaluator. That is a completed report for the vote counter.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. Appreciate that. Appreciate you doing that job, especially all this time during COVID. I think we finally, at the beginning, it was a little challenging to figure out how to do that, and you've done very well. And appreciate that very much. So at this point, I will turn the meeting back over to our new president, Karen.
And you're muted.
That means you can talk. Sorry about that. It's like I'm only 1.5 cups of coffee into my day. And that, with that being said, what I was trying to read, and I hope Beth could read lips, was once again, I want to thank you for everything you've done as president for the Pendleton Club. This past few months have been a challenge. We've all had to make adjustments. And one of the biggest challenges that we are going to have once we are going to be in person again is not looking at the dot above our heads, and we're going to miss eye contact altogether. I've done it. I did my first speech, and that's the one evaluator. He says, "Well, you know, you're kind of scanning over our heads." And, well, that's because I'm looking for your camera. I'm not used to doing this in-person stuff. So it will be there. We are going to be back eventually. I know tomorrow there's going to be the mask indoor policy set by our governor. How we agree with that or not is moot here, because we've managed to do our Zoom. We've made it a success. I appreciate the Marquarts for having that, getting that Zoom for us so our meetings go interrupted. We're not missing our rhythm, I guess. We're keeping our beat right where it needs to be. So a big thank you to Jim and Darlene. Give them a thumbs up or something, and we look forward to the next year. And as Beth said, we can pat ourselves on our back. All 7 of our new club officers attended the training on Saturday. And Darlene, I was just going to ask, was that recorded that we could play back some of the parts of it? Yeah.
Yes, they
Good
have.
training.
Well, it was recorded. They haven't released the recording yet, so I don't know. They said they were going to, so at some point that will be available.
Okay. It'll be good for everyone, anyone reviewing it. Any member is welcome to attend those trainings. And we've all done ours. We don't have to worry about any makeup. So congratulations, everyone, and thank you for being there.
Yes.
With that all being set aside, this next year is going to be still a bit of a challenge. I'm like Jim. I'm missing our, the breakfast time, our in-person fellowship. That will be a little bit different. But I would like everyone to just keep in mind that, things like this pass. I know my mother years ago, she had tuberculosis, And in those days, the patients were transported on a bus to not an asylum. There's another word I'm looking for. Anyhow, they had to wear masks wherever they went. If they went into town in Phoenix, they had to wear masks to protect them from everyone's germs, not protecting the regular people, I guess, for a better word. But when one night, and I'll share this with you really quickly, that she said that in her dorm room, her bed shook and she felt this real light coming into her room. It got brighter, brighter. Her bed shook. The next day, the spot on her lungs was gone.
Wow.
And not only that, but she also was scheduled for an appendectomy that same day, and her appendix was gone. There was no surgery done. There was nothing done. X-rays were clear. She's still with us today. But that was what took. My grandpa, her father, had passed from tuberculosis. And now to this day, each one of us in the family line has to have a test for it just to make sure. But, those are, I don't know how it happened. She doesn't know, but she told us to make sure that we share it with everyone else because there is hope out there. So please keep that in mind. We're stuck inside sometimes, but it works sometimes. And I have a chorus to keep me company. There they go again. They're like penguins. They just yap, yap, yap. But that being said, my mom survived it. She survived living in the naval base with World War II going about her and blackouts and things. It's a little bit of a challenge for them days. So please keep your heads up. Look forward to the next year. And for those of you, most of us now, will be working in Pathways tomorrow. It's her last day to do the manuals for those more experienced Toastmasters. I wonder if we should have a moment for them or something, because our manuals are going to go away. And Greg, that was something that we worked on. There was projects that were in the manual that we did and handed over to the Toastmaster. They did the evaluations and then handed it back when those were done. Then we got our certificates. That's how it was a year ago, and now we're saying goodbye to it. So that's another challenge. The one I would encourage people to do, and this helps when you're signing up for a speech, go into the agenda, pick out your topic, like dynamic leadership, your icebreaker, click on that, add it to the agenda, because your evaluator, and I just found this out too, your evaluator will be able to download that part of it and it saves to the Basecamp. So we won't have to worry of scanning it in or doing that. So that's a recent updated feature, but it's very handy for everyone. So with that, is there anything of news that anyone needs to share for the good of the order? Greg, do you have anything?
Yes. We need to do the agenda for the 7th.
Oh,
we need to get that done.
Thank you. I didn't have a printer. What's for the 7th, Darlene? Please help me.
Okay, so our theme next week is parties. So we're glad that Lee reminded us of that with her. You can repeat the balloons next week or come up with something else that's party related. Jim is the Toastmaster next week, and we will be zooming in, pun intended, from Idaho. I'm the grammarian.
So I'll be timer.
Okay.
I can be timer still.
All right. So Jim's timer. Table topics is Karen again. Evaluator is Beth. I'm the word of the day and the grammarian. So what we need is a general evaluator and a speaker and a joke and a quote.
I can be the general evaluator.
Okay.
I can be joke and quote.
Oh, Greg, good.
Greg. Okay, so we just need a speaker, one or two speakers, actually.
I'll do a speaker.
Okay, Karen.
Okay.
So I haven't opened up pathways or anything like that yet. At what point do you get to start preparing speeches for the group? Like, that'd be something good for. Maybe I can talk to Lee after the meeting or something.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready is the answer, because it's at your own pace.
Okay, so
Nobody-
it's in the pathways, you create one as you go. Is that kind of the idea?
Well, you've got certain parameters that you have to follow, like, and then you talk about whatever you want to talk about that fits within those parameters. Like the very first speech is called an icebreaker. More often than not, you talk about some element of something that means something to you personally. Like sometimes just a little overview of your life, or even like Eric did. He talked about something that he really enjoyed doing that had something to do with cars, if I remember right. But traditionally, it's a mini overview of your life, and it's only 4 to 6 minutes long. So that's your first speech. It's the shortest one probably that you'll ever do. Most speeches are 5 to 7.
All right. Thank you. I'll look into that.
Yeah.
Not for next week, though.
And as the VPE, my job is to make sure that we have mentors. So I don't know if we all have if we are a mentor and have mentors. That's something that we need to think about. I don't know if that needs to be reassigned every year, or if we just keep being mentor to whoever we were.
No, you just keep the same mentors. You can always add mentors.
Yeah, and you can have
never an ending job in Toastmasters.
Yeah,
you're always a mentor.
And you can have more than one.
No, Lee's doing great. I'll keep working with Lee.
Okay. Sounds good.
Darlene, do you want to look at next week? I mean, look at the 14th or?
Yeah. Yes. Since we've got a few minutes.
A little bit of time.
Just a minute.
So on the 14th, I'll do the word of the day.
Okay, Jim, word of the day. And I'm giving a speech on the 14th. Everything else is open.
I will not sign up for anything on that day, as I may be exhausted and may not be at the meeting, but unknown.
Okay.
I'll do joke and quote.
That was Karen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, does Greg want to do, you want to do table topics, Greg?
Sure.
Okay.
We can make that happen. For the 14th?
Yes.
And Lucy, we've got people that are not here today, Eric and Levon. We need to find out what's going on with Elaine.
Yeah. Well, we could put Levon down as a grammarian on the 14th.
Yeah, and then I'll let her know.
Okay, and why
Karen?
not put Eric as a general evaluator?
Oh, just a second. I put that in the wrong spot. Hold on, I wrote the word grammarian instead of the person's name. Okay, we put Levon as grammarian and Eric as general evaluator. Okay.
And Lee could be Toastmaster.
I like how Jim is twisting everyone's arm. Are
No
you,
peer pressure.
are you
How can I
okay?
twist everybody's arm when I'm right here?
Yeah, I'll do
Does
it.
Lee want to be Toastmaster?
Yeah, I just don't have
Yeah.
a theme yet.
Okay. All right. See, I'm not twisting anybody's arm.
Jim, does that, I'll twist your arm. Do you want to be our timer?
Yeah, I can be timer.
Okay. So,
We just need an evaluator for Darlene's speech. Karen, you want to evaluate Darlene's speech?
I can.
Okay,
Sure. Put me down.
there we go.
okay, so
She's
we've got,
thinking-
we've got the
It's like,
next,
I have a name. Yes, it's Karen. Sorry about that.
yeah, we've got the next 2 weeks filled up. That's good.
Yep.
And I know Florence will be visiting us in July. She didn't say exactly which meetings she could attend. She said she'd email me when the time gets closer, because I think she plans to visit us once in a while. Not every week, but she is a Toastmaster, but not a member of our club. She belongs to, I forget the name of it, a club in London, as you know.
Well, we got our roles being filled and we're all sworn in, ready for the next year. It is 7:39. If there's no objections, we could go ahead and close a little bit early. That's okay. No objections. All right. Thanks,
Objection.
Greg. Thanks for being here. Thanks for signing up. You're going to be just fine in your role. Lee, welcome aboard. Jim and Darlene, appreciate you guys. Your knowledge with this club is going to be very beneficial to everyone. And we're just nothing going to do but have a fantastic year. And Beth, once again, big applause. Thank you again. Appreciate you. And everyone, our past officers for last year, thanks to everyone again too. That said, we'll hit the imaginary gavel and we'll see everyone next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Are you, oh. And there you go.